Shalom, family, and welcome back to another Faithful Friday Sabbath Class. And we're going to go ahead and continue with where we were in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8. And we're going to pick things up at verse 10, okay? Book of the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 10. For her sake, I shall have estimation among the multitude and honor with the elders, though I be young. So now, when you have a situation where you're dealing with wisdom, it's a situation where you're going to have, like I said, for in her sake I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. Wisdom has the ability to uplift you in ways that you haven't been able to be uplifted prior. Why? Because it teaches you how to do things to be able to be elevated. Certain people, because of the foolishness they be on, they're not able to be elevated. They're not able to go into the positions they need to be in because they're not operating correctly. But wisdom will have you to be able to understand what to do to be able to excel in those positions. And actually, I want to even start up. I want to actually start up some Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8. Yeah. So, and let's go ahead and I want to actually deal with 6. So, and if prudence work, who of all that are is a more cunning workman than she? So who's a more cunning workman than wisdom? So able to be able to craft your life, organize your life, whether you be on your job or in your personal situation, the way you need it to be crafted. Verse 7, and if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth, think about this, if a man love righteousness, because that if is a supposition. It may not be true. You may not love righteousness. But if you're someone that does, it says what? If a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. The work that she produces. Man, these things are virtues. What is a virtue? And then it goes down to give examples, but what is a virtue? Virtue, moral excellence, goodness, righteousness. Okay, so the work that you put in with wisdom, especially the wisdom of the Most High, is what it's dealing with. The fruit of it, the reward of that work is going to be moral excellence. You're going to have goodness. You're going to have righteousness. So now, as it says, for she teacheth, these are the things that wisdom will teach you. Temperance. What is temperance? Wisdom will teach you temperance, moderation or self-restraint in action, statement, etc. Self-control. Wisdom will teach you to have self-control, to be able to have some restraint in the things you say and the things you do. A lot of people have to learn that. You have a lot of people, oh, that's just how I am. I just say whatever comes to mind. When at times what comes to mind should not be said. What comes to mind is best to be left in your mind, not something you ready to spew out because that's just how you feel. Can't be like that. So, and then you have to have self-restraint over your behavior, the things you do. You can't act on impulse. You can't always, this is what I'm gonna do, I just do it. It's how I feel, I just do it. Can't be like that. Wisdom will help teach you self-control, okay? And it says in prudence. So what is prudence? Prudence, the quality or fact of being prudent or wise in practical affairs, as by providing for the future. Caution with regard to practical matters. Discretion. Wisdom will teach you discretion. So teach you how to regard with things and how to deal with various situations. You want that. It says justice and fortitude. What is justice? Justice. An ad. Stand by. And I can be able to skip it I can get this definition, but now this thing be having ads and stuff. So just give me a minute, interrupting my flow. So they gonna get justice. Man, they getting longer and longer with these ads on here. Come on, unfortunate. So throw it off the spirit. Now I can skip it. Justice, the quality of being just, righteousness, equitableness, or moral rightness, rightfulness or lawfulness as of a claim or title, justness of ground or reason, the moral principle determining just conduct. So through wisdom, you learn how to conduct yourself in a just way, and especially how you deal with others, moving just, being fair, righteously fair. That's important. And then it says fortitude. What is fortitude? Fortitude, mental and emotional strength in facing difficulty, adversity, danger, or temptation courageously. You need that. You need that. The world isn't going to teach you that, but the Most High God through the scriptures can provide you with that, to help you have that, to be able to overcome those various vices and situations. So you can have the mental and emotional strength to be able to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go down that road, because I understand if I do that, I'm jeopardizing my salvation. I can't just sleep around. I can't just commit adultery. No, I can't do that. No, I have to be more mindful and circumspect. Thank you. I have to be more mindful and circumspect about how I move, because I understand that when you really understand the Most High is, like, Most High God ain't playing no games. He's strict. He wants things to be done right. He doesn't want you to bend your ways to seek love or favor. No, I have to stay the same regardless of what situation I am and regardless of the consequences. It's a marriage. It's to death do us part. And if you can't even ride or die on the simple stuff, you can't even be a ride or die on your job. How you expect to you can't give up your livelihood, but you expect to just be able to give up your life? How does that work? It starts with the small things, and as you build your faith, it works up to the big things. Scriptures will guide you on how to do that. Like, I can't compromise. I can't compromise my righteous integrity, my moral principles of civil principles of I can't compromise that, because that's the essence of who we are, truly being a child of God. I have to uphold that, because when you do, it's not in terms of, you're not trying to be, reasonable or workable, but it's no, I can't compromise things that are right. I can't compromise the right thing. I can't. I have to be able to hold on to that, because that's supposed to be at the core of who we are. So that's at the foundation. So now it says, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. These are things that, man, when you put it as, there's nothing else that is more profitable to have than these things. We get caught up and think that, well, a good job can be more profitable, or having just money or fame or things of that nature. And no, it means nothing if you don't have these things. You can have money and still, if you don't have virtue and all these other things, you're not considered. You can still have money and still not be respectable, still not be honorable, noble. It's not just having those things. And you have to realize people can have those things and still be a ask hole. The other version, I'll just say an ask hole, or asp hole, that you don't want to be like that. So, but if you have virtue and you improve upon these things, regardless if you have much or little, people will still generally speak well of you. They will be able to say that person is honorable, that person is noble, how they generally move and conduct themselves. You want that. You want that. So the scriptures will guide you on how to become that. So now, reading on in verse 8, if a man desire much experience, because you may want that. I think much experience with it, because that's a big part of wisdom comes oftentimes through experience. And a lot of times that experience through trial and error. Need to be with yourself or with others. So if you want much experience to be able to have and be able to speak on these, usually people with experience, they can speak on those various things. They can give knowledge, whether it's cars or you take some, all right, boots. If you've been in certain fields, you could have worn a variety of boots. You could have had, you could have gone through 6, 7, 8, 9 different brands of boots to where you have some experience to be able to guide others to where, hey, you were looking for some boots. These are good, but these are best if you have some flat feet, and these are good if you got a normal arch and narrow feet. These probably be a good choice for you. These you know what but it's all through experience. I've tried these things through trial and error. I tested them to be able to speak on it. You want that. Like I said, if a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. That's a big thing. See, wisdom in the wisdom of scriptures, it understands things of old. Because you understand that things of old are similar to the things of new. Like the scriptures say, it's the same. It may have gotten an upgrade. You may got the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.0 version of it, but the core of it is the same. And you learn that. So, and it says it conjectureth aright what is to come, because, you have conjuring. You have all these different things. People trying to say what is to come. Oh, this will probably happen. That'll happen. But the scripture's going to give you, this is what it is. This is how things will play out. This is what will happen. And it help guide you those things are right. You have wisdom to be able to rightfully be able to speak on how things will more than likely unfold. How in a variety of situations, whether it be on your job, saying, well, if they go ahead and make these moves, then this will probably be the aftermath of this decision, how things will play out. And you start getting those domino effects right. You start guessing it right at these things, because you're not just going with how you feel, how you think. Nah, you're going with, look, over these years since I've been doing this is usually how these things play. This is usually the cycle. More than likely, this is how things are going to play out, how things are going to go. So, and it says, she knoweth subtleties of speeches. Why would it say subtleties of speeches? You learn subtleties of speeches. First off, what is subtle? What is it to be subtle? Subtle. Thin, tenuous, rarefied, as a fluid or odor. Fine or delicate in meaning or intent. Difficult to perceive or understand. That's the key. Difficult to perceive or understand. Delicate or faint and mysterious. So you're dealing the mysteries, the hard things to be able to understand or perceive. You'll start to learn those things. The little things people say, whether it's through wisdom or just smart alecky comments, like, I caught that. I'm picking up on that. Everything ain't just going over your head anymore. It's like, all right, I got you. Even some of the jokes, you start to understand better. Okay, it makes sense. You start getting all that. But it says speech is, because there's all different types of language and subtleties in terms of how things are. Some things are, some serious words, some serious vernacular people may use, vocabulary. Other things may be those, joking things, and other things may be those sly comments, and upbraided. You start learning to be able to perceive all of those things and understand them. And it says, and can expound dark sentences. Now, what is a dark sentence? Dark sentences, what is that? The words black? Nah. So usually when you have something dark, okay, when you're in a dark room, can you see clearly? No. It's dark. And the darker it is, harder it is to see, right? And those sentences being not necessarily words on paper, it's still words, but the things that are being said. It's like they give you like a sentence, they decree something, like give you a sentence, like a deciding a sentence, like in case, like in court, different type of sentences. These sentences is describing words and things being said. So words that are hard to be understood. It's not easy, like dark. It's not easy to make out what's being said. It's not easy to understand what's being said. But you studying this, you'll start to be able to understand certain words, phrases, and speeches that people talk about that, okay, I perceive this is what it is they are describing. So, as it says, she foreseeth signs and wonders in the events of seasons and times. It says she foreseeth signs and wonders. So, again, that can be something just as simple as being able to understand that, hey, look, based upon the condition we have, and usually when stuff start looking like this, yeah, this is tornado weather. Simple stuff. Oh yeah, usually when you're dealing with this, with your kids, usually that starts becoming a runaway spirit. Your kids probably contemplating, leaving home, running away when you start seeing these types of signs. Now would be a good time to, hey, really talk to them. Maybe you talk at them too much, having that heart-to-heart conversation, really seeing where they at, because probably about to do something foolish. So you start learning those things. So, like I said, she foresees signs and wonders. All those things are signs and wonders, So that sign, that clue, that's alert to something, and then wonders, things that can blow your mind, amaze you, wow you, but then things that can bewilder. Like, man, what would cause somebody to do something like that? Like able to perceive and get that understanding that, hey, well, you put someone in this type of situation, and more than likely they fall over the edge and do this. Verse 9, therefore, I purpose to take her to me, to live with me. See, that's the thing. Not everyone is in a space where they want to take wisdom to be able to dwell with, to live with, to have it be something that, man, it needs to be close to me, okay? Same with, like, again, like I talked before, like with a spouse, taking on a spouse that, man, you need to be able, you find someone good, like, I need you on the team. Man, I need you. Beautiful. And not in terms of your physical, that's icing on the cake, but that ain't the cake itself. Like, man, your moral excellence, civil excellence, the spirit you carry, your mindset, man, that's beautiful. Where can I find that? I need that to be close to me, to add to everything it is I'm trying to do and trying to build. Like, man. So, and it says, and therefore I propose to take her to me. I purpose to take her to me, to live with me, knowing that, that's the thing, knowing, not guessing. I've seen enough, experienced enough to know. I have a good understanding about you. Knowing that she will be a counselor of good things. I want someone next that's going to be a counselor of good things. We all need counsel. From the least of us to the greatest of us. We all need counsel. And you want to make sure you have someone next to you that's going to be a counselor of good things. And yes, even, in the marriage aspect, that counsel works both ways. Even as a man, your wife is going to play a part in giving you counsel, giving you advice on certain, giving opinions on certain things. And that's good, given you have someone that is going to, again, be a counselor of good things, because you're able to help build that kingdom that much stronger. Proverbs 31, woman will be that. She will be able to be a counselor of good things. You want that by your side. You want that aid and that help in that way. At least someone with some wisdom would, because you're not going to know it all. You're not going to figure it all out. And then sometimes you need to double check some things.
Woman could be a great secretary. That double check from spelling to syntax to, hey, maybe this could be worded a little better. It sounds a little, like, or just with certain decisions, like, it helps with the right woman by your side. But that's what it says. Hey, I gotta know. I need the right. So knowing that she would be a counselor of good things and a comfort in cares and grief. A comfort in cares and grief. You need comfort. You need comfort. You need it. At times, you need it, especially, and it says, and grief. You grieve. You're gonna have times. And for everyone is different. Everyone doesn't grieve the same. Everyone doesn't grieve as often. And both as women and as men, both need comfort. Both grieve. Different things can cause grief, stress, anxiety. Some people deal with different emotions more than others. Some people, they may not grieve as much, but they may stress a lot. Or they may be more anxious, or more prone to anger. People prone different that, hey, that both through wisdom and again, that come like liken unto a spouse. Like, man, you need that support. We all do. So we all do. But you need the right person to aid that, not because the scripture even tell you, man, even like with the marriage dynamic, like even with a wife that won't comfort her husband in distress, like, man, it's going to make weak hands and feeble knees. Why? Because you always going to be in a space where you praying and just, man, Father, like, help soften her up, like, help, like, man, because she's bitter, towards me at times when it's like I'm down, I'm trying, and life is hard. Last thing you want is people within your realm making it harder. So it's important. Make things easier on each other. So verse 10, for her sake I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. So that's what you want, and let's get estimation. What is estimation? It says, for her sake I will have estimation among the multitude. Estimation, judgment or opinion, but esteem, respect. Okay, that's what it's dealing with. Esteem, respect. So when it's saying, for her sake I have estimation among the multitude, it's saying, for her sake, man, I'm going to have respect, and esteem among dealing with many people. That's how wisdom will have you. You'll be you hold on to her like, man, you'll have where people will be like, bruh, where'd you find this person? Where'd you find this sister? Where'd you find this brother? Because the way they move, it's like, man, they don't make these a dime a dozen. Folks like you, limited edition. Limited edition. That's how you want to be. Limited edition. Won't find you everywhere. You are an asset. How can we get you? And then how can we keep you? Because we need you. That's what you want. You want that. Where you courting somebody, you want that in your courtship. You want somebody to feel that way about you. Where you on your job, you want somebody to feel that way. I don't care if you at the grocery store. You want somebody like, man, I don't make people like that too often. So you want that. You want to have somebody tell me today, man, in 16 years, that, man, I ain't never had nobody speak to me in that type of way, man. I appreciate it. Hearing like good words. Like, people need good words. People need upliftment. They need encouragement. Someone else like, man, since 91, 92, I ain't had nobody, I haven't seen that, but you come on with it, be the best you can be. So change the culture. Our forefathers and foremothers, regardless of where they were at, under whichever captivity, they were shining. We wasn't just mediocre people. We were excellent. That's how you want to be. Wherever you are, you want to be able to shine in excellence. You ain't want to be in a situation, well, if this job or whatever, and I just show up late, show up when I want to, and I don't give a dang about nobody, and it's you won't be like that. Look at it. Our people, even if they hated their job, hey, I'm still gonna shine. Hey, even if I hate what I do, or if I hate where I'm at, it's hey, I'm still gonna shine. I'm gonna do my job. If I do it, nothing else. Make sure I'm gonna do my job the right way and righteously, and make sure I'm a righteous influence around those around me. You have that. Many done that. From Joseph, Daniel, Esther. I mean, you name it. They they was on that type of level. And you saw how that carried over into everything else in their life. And the Most High loved them. Most High wasn't like, look at them, they trying to rise to the top, working government over there. Many of them, and most people work with government workers. Joseph, second in command. Daniel, third in command. They promoted him, trying to promote him to second in command. You know, who else? Mordecai, second in command. You know, like, man, like, our forefathers and foremothers were getting promoted. You know, Esther the queen, like, man, in the government of these other nations. You know, but through their excellence. If you read about them, like, man, read about, like, they was great before man and the Most High. Wisdom will teach you how to do that. Shouldn't be a case like I shouldn't be a leader here, and then I'm not a leader out in the world. Shouldn't be, you know, like a night and day situation. People that interact with me here, there should be a similar experience than for dealing with those here, and also those who may deal with me outside of here. Shouldn't be a like a light switch that's turned on versus with cameras on and cameras off. It should be about the same. You want that. You know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, and if you read and study the scriptures, our forefathers, foremothers were like that. You know. Let's continue. So, for her sake, I shall have respect and esteem among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. Why would it say an honor with the elders, though I be young? Because you can have it to where someone can physically be young, but their mentality, the way they carry themselves, is something that elevates them 5, 10, 15, 20 years above their physical number. That can cause them to gain a level of respect from someone that can be, you know, twice their age. You have that. Someone that can be, you know, 15, 20, 25 years older. They're senior. You know, you can have that. So that's what you want. You want that. So now, as it says in verse 11, I should be found of a quick conceit and judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. Now let's see what is conceit. Let's get that, because I want to make sure we don't just look over words. Conceit. So, an excessively favorable opinion of one's own ability, importance, or wit. Okay? So, excessively favorable. Okay? So, something that is conceived in the mind, a thought, idea. Okay? Or something that is conceived in the mind. Imagination, fancy, a fancy whim, an elaborate, fanciful metaphor. So, that's more so what we're dealing with. Favorable opinion, esteem. Favorable opinion or esteem. So now it says, I should be found, verse 11, I should be found of a quick conceit and judgment. So based on this, what would it be? So when it comes down to judgment, I will be found to have a very, very favorable opinion based on this. The mindset and how I decide matters. So in being in a space where what it is I'm able to decide and deal with is like, man, the way brother's able to dissect that, the way sister was able to dissect that is like, man, you on point. You moving good. So that's why it says, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. Why? Because the way you handle things, the way you reason with things, that's like, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like you own it. And it should. You're supposed to. The Most High, He wants us to stand out. He wants us to be excellent. Because that's part of why He made you special. That's part of what makes you his child. To stand out is like, man, the excellence on you. Your spirit of excellence. Your spirit that, as I said for many years, to be better and do better. Not get worse and be worse. No, He doesn't want that. Most High, like, think about it. Most High, he's not someone that's a entity, deity that is lazy, that's late on things. Nah, Most High, like, man, he's trying to. He's always in a space where He's gonna show up and show out. He's gonna, man, do things in excellence. Even like how He deals, like He makes sure, like, look, man, regardless, He makes the sun shine on the just and the unjust. He makes it rain on the just and the unjust. Like, He takes care of the whole earth. Creates everything. Though they don't sow, reap, but hey, they taken care of. Most High takes care of everybody. That's how He does. That's how He shows, because then it's more accountability. Like, man, man, the scripture just feel like people who haven't even known Him but receive gifts of Him. Because, yeah, you said people in the word, all right, Satan blessing them, but in the day, it's still coming from the Most High. It's in the Most High. Even like with a nation, he still sprinkles crumbs to everybody. That's part of accountability too, because at the end of the day, He's taking care of everybody. He just wants everybody to do right. The whole earth. That's why everybody got to get judged. He wants the whole earth to do right. He wants everybody to do right. But He has to focus. Still has to focus, but He wants everybody to do right. That's why everybody got to get judged. If He didn't want everyone to do right, everybody wouldn't have to get judged because, like, ain't nothing they got to worry about. But nah, it's like, everyone got to be judged based on what it is that they've done according to His laws. How well they did or did not keep them. And you see the scripture that He judging all nations, everyone accordingly, based on how they moved with this. So now, verse 12. And I'll start the end of verse 11. And shall be admired in the sight of great men. You want that. People who have made it to positions that took certain levels of commitment, devotion, sacrifice, knowledge, and understanding, wisdom, that it does mean something for them to be able to recognize you. Recognize your greatness. Like, the scripture wasn't just, all right, man, don't care what nobody just think about it. Nah, have some regard, because there could be some continuity there that if a lot of people are saying it's probably true. A lot of people are saying it's probably true. Of course, yeah, you're going to have people allowing you feel some type of way, but things you do want to look at and see, like, all right, let me look at this. Maybe some people are correct. Maybe I could make some of these changes. Maybe I could improve in these ways. You want that, because failure to do so could mean there could be an issue or a problem. You don't want an issue or a problem. You don't want that. You want solutions. Okay? You want to be able to bring solutions. Now, let me continue in verse 12. When I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure. And when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. Oh, come on, man. You want that. You want it to where when people See, because even from the last verse, it's good that it segues in the way that it does. Yeah, you have many people that get it misconstrued. Like, I don't care what nobody think of me. They just feel you want to start having some care, because that's not wisdom. It's not that every single thing somebody think or say about you is right or care about. Nah, the scriptures give a balance. But generally, you wanted to have a situation that people are generally, they have good things to say about you. You don't want it to be where, man, people, they got a lot of bad to say about you, and that bad is true. You don't want that. That's not how the scriptures tell us to be. But no, you want it to be a situation where you're admirable. People can admire various things about you. How you talk, how you walk, how you carry yourself. Like everything is like, man, that is a, there's this person has a lot of good qualities that you can learn from and take into your spirit. You want that. So now, that's why it says in verse 12, when I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure. Why? And even it's better if I read the other part, then explain it. And when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. You want people, what this little, you want people who, when you speak, they want to listen to what you have to say. Just to put it plain, they want to listen to what you have to say. You want that. When you speak, people want to listen. You want that. Because that means they value what it is you have to say. There's a lot of people, you don't value what it is they have to say. You don't value their opinion. You don't value their input. Them 2 cents, they keep it right to themselves. You keep that. I don't care for it. I don't want it. Ain't valuable enough. So, virtually worthless at times. Some people oftentimes. You want somebody, man, when this person speak, man, get the wallet, get the bag, get the purse, because they dropping gems. You want to catch it. The scriptures literally speak on various people that, man, getting counsel from this person was like the oracles of God. Like, man, it don't get no better than getting counsel from this person. You able to talk to them about, man. There was some like that. Like in the time of David, there's some counselors. Like when you read, when, David and his son were going through this, like, man, this is something, man, getting counselors, bro, like getting, man, like the oracles of God. Like you have somebody, a counselor, like you want to, like if you're able to talk, some oracles, like imagine you able to talk to the Most High about some stuff. It's like, man, talking to this person as close as you gonna get. Close as you gonna get, like, man, and they not even a prophet or seer like that, but just people who have taken the time to become wise, learned and soaked up to be able to give to you and give to others. You want that. Man, that's powerful. That is powerful. That is power. And then it started with the other side I'm about to get to, which when you having conversation, when you speaking, or even times when you pause in speech, or certain things you ain't spoke on yet, others they waiting to see what you gonna say before they even speak. They waiting. Hold up, let me. Cause they waiting to see what you gonna say. They don't want to. They want to give that respect because they know you're more than likely going to guide things aright. Making room for the person that should speak on the situation, the person that more than likely has the right information to give out. Lest I misspeak or speak out of term. I don't want that. Nah, I want to make sure, hey, who's most qualified here to speak on this? Let them speak. So don't be a person, I have to say something just to be acknowledged. Don't be the person, I just want to sound smart. Don't be the person, I just want to be heard. Sometimes people can respect you a lot more just if you just, if you do, all right. People can respect that more because they're going to pay attention either way. And then you just absorb the knowledge, absorb the information. Because then later, you can pass on what it is you've heard and learned, not just with but the things you've learned that, hey, help somebody else out. And then you'll have your times to speak. You'll still get that, your limelight and time, but don't try to steal the thunder. Don't try to be in a space. All right, well, he said that. Well, I guess I gotta say something too, And because when you do that, it's like somebody, that person talk. It's like,
Yeah, so one really wants to make sure that life is always moving. You just always want to make sure we're being careful in terms of how we move through it. Whether we moving with it or moving against it. And people feeling his words, everything, and you just want to say something. Here you go. You just want to say, it's important to move through life. And it's like, all right, come on, here you go. And people like, here you go. So, yeah, just don't quit. It's all right. Anyways, other news. Back to what he was saying. You don't want to be like that. You just gotta, man, for real. Everybody knows something like you just gotta say something, don't you? You just gotta talk. You just gotta be a little. You just gotta, certain place you go insert here. You just gotta insert yourself somewhere. I just gotta slide in there. I just gotta let me. I see he there. He didn't. All right, let's see if I can just. You ever been like in a crowded space and someone just gotta squeeze through? You just be. I just gotta squeeze. Like, hold on, let me just. All right, I can fit. Let me just get through here. Ain't enough room for you. Back up. Just go around. Wait. Just wait. Let them pass. You trying to squeeze in. Just don't try to. But wisdom will teach you that. Don't try to squeeze in. People say you trying too hard. You forcing it. It just ain't natural to you. One day you might get it, but that day ain't today. So I hope pray for you. And just other times, it's just not your time right now. Sometimes it may never be your time in that way. What is it? Everybody ain't gonna be the star of the team, but boy, just be happy to be on the team. You on the team, you there. So, but everybody ain't gonna be a star player. So, but you're gonna have some star players. So. Just understanding that, man, it's sometimes honoring I'm the man behind the gun. That's okay. That's honorable as well. That's noble as well. That's beautiful as well. That's respectable as well. You got that. That's beautiful to have. And you can get glory through someone else. I ain't gotta get the glory. Hey, that person get glory, I get glory because we connected. Same with okay, husband and wife. You may look at it, all right, your husband might be a teacher or leader in various capacity, so, but if he does well, I don't care if he a reader, faithful, whether in the classroom or on the streets, doing the work, a street minister, doing the work in evangelist, man, if reading with power, some strength, clarity, man, people be like, still, and husband, heck of a reader, beautiful, be known for that, man, and that's beauty, but being great at that honor, that light, that starts resonating into the rest of the house. Wife gets on to that. Man, you're rolling thunder when he read. Man, I don't know what the voice of the Almighty sound like. Like they was in in the book of Exodus, but man, that man, bruh, sis, hey, strong reader. There's honor in that. Then you get they didn't travel down too. Hey, look at this kid. You gonna be a strong reader like your pops, huh? Yeah, I know. Yeah, keep it up. Yep, I know you practicing it, and I see you already. Didn't want to read? I see you.
He be on it or she be on it, powerful. You get that glory. It'll happen. Just give it time. It'll happen. But that's good glory. Like the scriptures like the scriptures deal with, hey, a body has different members, and there's a different glory for each. The hand has a different glory from the eye. But the nose has a different glory from the mouth. But they all have glory. You just can't get caught up in well, I ain't the mouth. Well, I ain't the nose. Hey, the kidneys ain't nothing that's seen, but it's working behind the scenes. Still putting in work. Something to be valued, respected, appreciated. Sometimes in the body, you might just be the kidney. Hey, you help filter out all the BS that be coming through here. Catch it. Need ones like that. That's valuable. You just can't let those who are looking at particular members get you caught up in whatever it is they caught up in. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. Be focusing, hey, I'm nothing but a nail, but if you need me to scratch, need me to open something, I'm there. I'm your guy or I'm your girl. So I'll be there, playing my part. I'll play my part and help the body go around, because if the body is great, I'm a part of that greatness. That's what you want. That's how you got to see it. Not a situation of I'm just second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh string. No. So part of greatness, because each role has a different level of honor, and not everyone is fit to play or be these other roles. Get in where you fit in, because that's where the Most High called you. Most High said we're all valuable or special to him. It's not a situation to where, okay, well, you be special if you were. That's why I like Tobit. That's why I like Tobit. He's one of the top 3 people I would want to meet, be with, sup with. Why? Tobit was not a king. Tobit was not a prophet. He was not a governor. He was not a seer. Wasn't a dreamer. Tobit was by all means what we think of your average Joe Smo. But yet Tobit moved in excellence, gave a lot of alms deeds, buried his people when he saw they were hungry out in the street. Those things he did in excellence, so much so, he was known by name by the Most High. And when the time of need came that required, that it was above his power, Most High came through, showed up, and showed out for him. I mean, sent an angel, not just any angel, one of the highest ranking league of angels in the universe, one of the Holy Seven, down to help him and his son and his son's future wife, all in one whop. I mean, man. To have that and to have an angel not just show up like, all right, for a moment or just a dream, but in the flesh down there in human form for some weeks, dealing with some weeks. I mean, man, what kind of person are you? Others, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're going to deal with a prophet. Yeah, you're going to deal with a seer. All right, yeah, you chose him. All right. Yeah, you're going to deal with a king, whether the king is righteous or wicked, because you're the king over my people. Tobit. Why? Because this man was of excellence, righteous excellence, went above and beyond in excellence. To when the time of need came, it's like, man, your alms, your works, it's all come up as a memorial to the Most High. You need me? I got you. What do you need? I'm there, mighty to save. That's how you want the Most High to come through for you. Like the scriptures speak, like, man, this one time I believe it was righteous Stephen or Stephen before he got stoned, told him the story of dealing with I want to say it was Elijah, no, or Elisha. You know, dealing with the widow. She was on her last. Most High sent him as a prophet down there, and man, I know you gave her them words. I know you on your last, but give me some of that. And Most High, he gonna double what you got. Don't even worry about it. Don't trip. I know you's about to have it. You about to give up on life, you and your son, but yeah, give me a portion. Don't worry. Most High God, he gonna provide. Don't worry. Man, Most High multiply that. Let that meal stretch. Them grains. Like, man, but it was one of those things. Stephen 7, he had to check his people. Like, look, you don't think there was other unfortunate widows and other things, but hey, Most High wasn't sending prophets to everybody. He ain't sending them to everybody. All of them, no. He sent to that one. Sometimes Most High, he certain situations, you don't want you to be an afterthought for them. You gonna help them? Nah, I'm all right. Now, next. Nah. They gonna suffer through that for a minute. I helped them out enough. They need to learn now. Nah. What about this probably? Oh, what they need? Who in trouble? What's that? Hey, get them some aid. What they need to come, give them that job over there. Let that person get fired. Let them get hired. Most High work that work for you. Have them. Hey, they need something, man. Put on their mother-in-law heart. Give them, help them out with that. You know what they need here. Hey, get what make them get in an accident so they all right. You know, let whatever. Most High work in your favor. He'll move mountains for you. Things you didn't. You may not have none of them ducks lined up. You may have 1 out of 12 of them ducks lined up in a row. Most High allow all the other 11 fall into place out of nowhere. That's the type of power you're dealing with. Whereas on the other end, for someone else, they can have all 11 lined up. That 12th one will never fall through. You let them get confident, lining up. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Come on with it. I just need this last one to drop, and it flop. Never fall through. But on the flip side, Most High is with you. Oh, man, it be on the whole opposite spectrum. You be in a place, I only got one. You know, you be down like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I need to get all this lined up. I barely got this. Running out of time. Stressed. Like, man, I'm going through it. Most High, like, look at you see him, you see her. I got you, son. I got you, daughter. Don't trip. I got you. Most High just boom, 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 ding, 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 ding. You like, man, all praises. It came through. Man, 100 bands, like, man, we there. Completion, talk about completion. Forget 100, 115. We through completion. We didn't shot through. Off the chart. You know, they hit that bag of that meat and then it ding and then blow off, or they didn't punch it, boom, off the chart. Most High took it off the charts from what it is you expected. And you have them testimonies. You know, hey, Most High could do it. You can have even more. Imagine how much more if you fully applied yourself. You was 10 toes deep. All fingers, everything, toes and fingers in. You all uncomfortable. Halfway the feet was like this. You like Wolverine and something like that. You got toes and everything in, and Most High just making everything just. If you touch it, it turn to gold. You like, oh, I want to do the. Oh, that came through. What about this? Oh, start surprising yourself. Like, man. But it's through wisdom and righteousness. That's what's going to get you there. Wisdom and righteousness. That's what's going to open them floodgates for you. And the blessings will pour through. Now, of course, there's a balance. You still going to have to be tried and tested, and eventually things going to have to go south sometimes. Most of us still got to, try you and test you. So, yeah, you ride the good on train, and most all right. Now, next that test, then you're going to take a dip. But it's all right. You go through them storms, and wind be blowing, you going in a hurricane like that tree, you getting tossed and fall, feel like you're about to break. But most high, he watching, he seeing, and all right, that storm going to pass. You're going to lose some leaves, but when that storm pass, you're going to be back up right. You're going to be all right. Most High know it. So he just wants you to believe it and move accordingly. That's your faith. Believe it and move accordingly. For now, verse 12. Let me finish the end of verse 12. When I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure, and when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth. Listen to that. That should catch you. It says, if I talk much, if I'm talking a lot, them, shall lay their hands upon their mouth, not mine. Why? That's how valuable my words are. That's how valuable my speech is, my wisdom. They're still in a place where they still want to listen to you. They still want to listen to you. Whether you have a few words to say or many, they trying to soak it up. They trying to soak it up. Man, I'm trying to, bruh. I'm you the water, I'm the sponge. I'm trying to get all that, so I can carry that and now so I can fill me up. You want that. You want that. You want to make sure wherever you go, you are a leader in righteousness. You are you stand out in righteousness. You are a light. That's what the Most High in Christ is calling us to be, lights. And no one lights a light, put a light to put it under a table and hide it, to put it under the couch. No, in dark, no. We need it right there, out in the open. Need people to see that. Not in terms to boast or puff up our egos and things of that nature, no. But rather to be a manifestation of the Most High God's light through righteousness and wisdom of Scripture. When people start saying like, dang, what got you like this? Man, I'm on this. This is what got me like this. Not just reading it, applying it. That's what got me. Had to apply it. Had to. And I learned from it, made adjustments, got right, made mistakes, bounced back, made adjustments, got better. That's what you want. You want it, man, that so many people, they don't want it. They just don't care. But I put it to you this way. The great forefathers and foremothers that you read about, they didn't get there through not caring. They didn't get there through just treating righteousness or being, good with the most, like whatever. No. They fought through the grief, stress, anger, like you name it, they fought to give it their best, give it their all. Be the best they can, be the best they could be and more. That's the ticket. That's the goal. To be able to do that regardless of where you're at. And to be that leader, and hey, if possible, leader of leaders. So, which some are privileged and blessed to be a leader of leaders. Now, all these people here, they leaders, and I just happen to be able to be blessed to be a leader of leaders. Like, and at the same time, you still, yeah, a good follower. So, but there's a different mindset when it comes to leader. The Most High is calling us to be leaders on this earth. Leaders. That's what he's looking for. Leaders of righteousness, regardless of what role or position you may carry. We're supposed to be leaders and right examples for people to look to. So what got you like that? Righteousness. That's what got me like that. So now, I'll go ahead and end it there, and we'll pick things up at verse 13. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 and verse 13. We didn't read, a whole lot. That's okay, because it's not about trying to move through it swiftly. No, no, no. It's about meditating on these scriptures and really trying to get all the meat off the bones. Meditate on it. Really take it to heart. Learn from it. Because through speed reading this, a lot of those things you ain't going to get. You need to take time to be able to dissect the word, digest it. And this is what this is about. Being able to really break down the word, to be able to dissect it, intake it, and digest it. So that's what we're dealing with. So most high willing, I pray that all of you, got something out of this. If you love it, man, hey, like, share, subscribe. So that way others can get it. So it's not really, actually, no, it's not about me, spreading me or my name per se or the organization, but rather that others are able to receive the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding they need to be able to be better and do better. All right? So, some people, man, you ain't got to be part of my congregation. If something help you be better and do better, all praises, that's the goal and that's the mission. Regardless of, whether you with another camp or, hey, start your own, all praises. Just do it in righteousness. But with that, man, I'm Brother Yatab, Bishop of Sound Faith Ministries. And with that, I say, Shalom.